Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Eat, Meet, and Question Everything. I just got super nervous before I hit the record button. Why am I the way I am? Okay, so I do not have time to do any editing. I mean, not that I do much anyways, but unless I have a complete mess up, like you're just going to have to roll along like almost like we're doing this live. So I have some things I want to talk about. I have my sheet of notes. I'm like shaking. I feel like I haven't done this in a while. But just quick little like housekeeping. Okay, so if you are listening to this on your podcast app, would you mind leaving a review and rating it? I don't think I've ever asked for that before, and it shows because there's not many, and there's actually like a few like awful ones. So if you could do that, that would be great. If you're watching on YouTube, could you subscribe, give this a thumbs up, maybe say hello in the comments. Let's get some engagement going. Okay, as you can maybe hear, I'm still a little congested. I was sick it was 2 weeks yesterday, and I'm still not amazing. Even yesterday, I was just like, I don't have my energy back. I definitely think it was probably like the Rona. It definitely felt like it was man made. It didn't feel like a normal, like cold or whatever. Like I felt like I was being poisoned. So, with that though, I made a commitment. Well, and you know what? I could have been like, hey, I'm sick. It wouldn't have been a big deal. But I'm doing this article for the kitchen and it's a grocery diary. And I had already planned the week. I shopped and like a couple days in, I'm like, I'm feeling awful, but I didn't want to scrap it. So I just rolled with it. Literally, and in the grocery log, I didn't want to like complain too much about being sick. Like I acknowledged it, but it's like I didn't want to be like, oh, and another day we're on our deathbed. So I very like lightly glazed over it. But just know, on one of the days I was in the kitchen making my kids a carnivore pizza with 103.3 fever. I was like crying half of the time. I was in there just looking, what's that creature, like Gollum or whatever, like just horrendous. But I needed to get it done because I wasn't going to lie on what we were eating that week. Had I not been doing the grocery diary, it would have been a lot of like door dashing burger patties and stuff. So that's not out yet. We're like working on the contract. It's so silly because it's just like, here's an article, but some of the things, I don't know, Jeff goes over the contracts and some of the things they are asking, it was a little wonky. So we're like working on that right now. So I will let you know when that was out. Oh my gosh. Okay. I am fasted and caffeinated and I just feel like, blah, 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 so bear with me, guys. Okay. So I am actually filming this on Monday, January 20th, Inauguration Day. And I'm going to just, once it's done, I'm going to put it out there in the world. So if anything weird happens today, just know like I don't know anything. It's early in the morning here. I'm just getting this out. Okay, what's next on my list? So the fires, just want to like briefly go over that. I am in Southern California. We are safe. We are about an hour south of all the fires. So thank you for those that reached out. We were all good. It's devastating what happened. I kind of have a lot of thoughts on that. I don't need to go into them in detail, but I definitely think it wasn't just like accidental stuff. I think it was intentionally set. I think our state was not prepared for it. Like, who doesn't have like water and hydrants? So I don't want to get like too political, but it all seems a little fishy. And then I was going on TikTok, this rabbit hole about how they were maybe even destroying evidence that had to do with like the Diddy case and whatnot. Speaking of TikTok, we did lose it for about 12 hours, but it is back. And I have some thoughts on that too. A lot of people saying, well, I guess they're just like not understanding. They're like laughing at us for being upset about an app being gone. And I feel like whether you like that app or not, you should have also been upset that they were trying to take that away from us because it's not a national security, what leak or whatever they were saying. Like that part was already addressed and this sat like fine for 4 years and then it was brought back up again. So, anyways, you should have also been concerned that they were trying to take that away from us. And why were they? Is it a money thing? Are they trying to censor and not have, like I get so much information from that app. Like it is like real time, uncensored, what is going on in the world. And besides that fact, a lot of people make their living over there. They're doing TikTok shop, they're advertising for their business. Like I don't make a penny on that app. I have tried the creator fund. years ago, I felt like it squashed my views. So I'm like, I'd rather get more views and spread this message and not make money on it, if that makes sense. But of course, it's a great like advertising. Like, yeah, I can market my book over there. So it's just different ways that people are using it. But I'm glad to see it's back. Whew, I feel I need to take a breath. I need to have a little drink. Okay, I might need to do some editing because I might need to just pause this for a minute and just like calm down. I feel like when it's just these solo episodes, I get like almost like winded and out of breath. Okay, so back to how I'm not going to have time to edit this, maybe because I'm spreading myself too thin. And that was a comment that I got. So I want to address this one comment that I got because I just kind of want to explain like what's going on here, a little behind the scenes. Somebody said, let me read it. I printed it out. Somebody had a question about a recipe on my video. And then this lady replied and said, it's really sad that she's not responding to these kind of comments. It's possible she's spreading herself too thin with all the promotional content that's been on her reels lately and no longer has time for the people that have put her where she is. 2 parts to that. Well, maybe 3, because spreading herself too thin. Yes, I am all over the place. And I'll read you my response in a minute. Not only with social media side of things, but also like with, my house and my kids and all that. So actually, let me just read what I wrote back, and then I can expand on that a little bit. Hi, Diane. I try my best to keep up with the comments. I get hundreds of comments a day on all the platforms I'm on. Besides creating content, replying to DMs, recipe testing, and many more behind the scenes stuff, I'm also a mom of 2 littles that are at home with me. I do my best, but literally do not have the time to respond to every single comment, nor do I even see them all or get the notifications. Sorry you're disappointed about it. I'm not sure how else to be better about it. I actually went back to the post today to see if she replied, and she did not reply, but she did delete her comments about it. Okay, sorry, another deep breath. So I will say, yes, maybe I am spreading myself too thin. I have a lot going on. I think it would be silly to only post on one platform to make sure I reply to every single comment. I think it's smarter to get my message out on all the different platforms because not everyone is on all the platforms, So to get the message out about Carnivore, it's smarter to be everywhere. And yes, that means I'm not going to be able to reply to every comment. Even if I could, I wouldn't even have the time to do so because there's so many, and even the DMs and the emails, I can't keep up. That doesn't mean I'm not saying don't comment, don't DM, don't email me. Still, please do. Just know that I'm doing the best that I can. And here's another thing is why I also don't see a lot of them is I don't go back to old videos to look through comments because I feel like by then, when time has gone by, I'm just being dogpiled on. So I also need to have boundaries to protect my mental health because some of these comments are just atrocious. And it's unfortunate that the nice comments are sometimes overlooked because I might not have the mental capacity or whatever the right verbiage is to go and weed through the awful comments to find the nice ones. So I just wanted to address that in case someone else is dang, she doesn't reply to me or whatever. I've even seen actually someone on TikTok comment that it was so nice to see how much I do reply back. So I do try my best because it's social media. I want to talk to you guys. I want to be interactive. But sometimes it's just a lot and I can't keep up with it. Okay, what is next? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I've had some weight loss lately. Who knew all I needed to do was rot in bed and be sick and not eat much? So it kind of got my wheels turning. I think there's so much more to the weight loss puzzle than just eating less and moving more because we do have hormones that come into play. But laying in bed, losing weight, okay, I'm sure there was some muscle that I lost, but it just made me think maybe I am just eating too much, I don't know, maybe it is that simple sometimes. But then here's what's going on in my head. Okay, I don't want to be under eating where I'm not getting enough nutrients. And then you have all these thoughts in my head, like of what people are saying, like, oh, you're going to ruin your metabolism. And then the people that are like, oh, I'm under eating and I'm stalling, but then I eat more and I lose. And I don't want to mess with my hormones. But if eating a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit less than my normal, when I'm tracking macros, I'm anywhere between 1,600 and 1,800 calories. Maybe I need a little bit less. I think also, when I was almost 200 pounds, like your body does need more food, but I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud about that. I'm actually back down to, I was 138 this morning, 1 pound away from my lowest carnivore weight was 137, which is 55 pounds lost. And I still do have 10 pounds. And a lot of people are like, oh, you don't need to lose 10. Maybe you're great. Like, and I appreciate that because I am very still like happy with where I'm at, but there's still a lot of fat and it's spread evenly. So, or mostly in my tummy, but I promise you it's there. So I appreciate what people are saying, but I promise you I do still have a little bit left to go. And here's another thing. I used to do later eating windows with keto, like push my food off to maybe like 12 or 2, eat a couple meals. I thought it was great. It worked for me. And then you see all this stuff out there, which they're probably right, that you need to eat in the morning. And if you are going to fast, chop it off early by like 2 p.m., 3, 4, whatever, because of leptin stuff. And I get that. And I understand how that's going to be ideal. But for me, when I start eating in the morning, it opens the floodgates. And maybe this is a me issue and a mental thing and something I need to work on. And I will say the berberine has been helpful in kind of curbing that a little bit, but I just feel better when I'm pushing it off a little bit. And Danny Conway, love you, but she is still not texting me back. No, she texted me back. She's like, I will get back to you, because I asked her, I'm like, am I ruining my hormones by doing this? Because this is actually what's working for me and it's how I'm going to get to my goal. Like, don't, what is it the saying? Don't ask for forgiveness. No, don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. So can I do this? Can I intermittent fast later in the day and only eat 2 meals and maybe eat a little light and then ask my hormones for forgiveness later, fix them if I ruin it? Because I want to be healthy, but I also want to get this weight off. It's annoying. It's exhausting being in weight loss mode constantly. And I don't want to stop here. And yes, I feel good and I'm glad, but I feel more comfortable at about 10 pounds lighter. And I've been there before. And it's not all about the number on the scale. I understand, if I'm lifting and stuff, that the number, it could be different. So I understand I'm not stuck on a number on the scale, but I do see the extra fat, especially on my stomach, and I would like it to go. And to me, that is being about 10 pounds lighter, but again, not stuck on that number. So it also makes me think, bodybuilders, they're doing their bulking and their cutting. Well, maybe this is just my cut. I've been bulking for the last year or so, so I don't know. I'm just talking this through. This is just kind of like what's going through my head right now. And I might not be right, but what I feel like that's working, at least in, the last couple weeks, is pushing my food off, sticking to 2 meals in an eating window, not be snacking and grazing. That's another important thing for our insulin, is to not be grazing all day. Have those 2 meals, have that intermittent fasting. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. And I will get back to you when Danny lets me know. I would hope that she would say, if that's what you feel good and that's what's working for you, then do it. Yes, the other way might be optimal. So I don't know. We'll see what she says. Speaking of weight loss, it has been brought to my attention that my content has been used in ads for weight loss stuff. And even like someone said, a GLP-1 ad. I am not on GLP-1. You would be the first to know, honestly. I know a lot of these people are like, these influencers, they've done it for a while. And then it's like 3 months later, they come out and say, oh, this is what I did, what's worked for me. And that's great. But just know, I am an oversharer. If I did decide to do that shot, which I'm probably not going to, I'd be like, hey, day 1, let's do this. So just know that, as I hopefully continue to lose weight, that it's not with that. And no shame if you are on it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's just, a lot of judgment that comes along with that. So just know I am not on it right now. Last thing, gosh, I feel like motor mouth over here. If you haven't checked it out yet, I was on Dr. Barry's channel for the first time, which is so exciting. And I always feel weird. Like, I don't want to make that a big deal because I don't want other channels to be like, well, why weren't you this excited when you were on mine? You know? So I don't want to like make others feel bad, but I mean, we can all agree that it's Dr. Barry and that's pretty cool, right? So if you haven't caught it yet, I'm not even going to say what I said again because I just do want this to like die down because I've been obsessively thinking about it. But I said something mortifying like halfway through the interview. And just know 2 weeks later that I am obsessively, or maybe 1 week later, I am obsessively thinking about it and mortified from what I said. So I guess that's it. Okay, we're at 15 minutes, short and sweet. I do want to try and be more consistent. I know I've said this a lot on getting these podcasts out. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen because I told myself that and then I was sick, so I haven't even done any of this year. So I guess that's it. I'm scanning my little list and I think I hit everything that I wanted to say. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will do my best to get back to them. Oh, one more shout out. Okay. So I mentioned them in one of my short reels, but Emma the Carnivore, the sweetest, her and her sister, Alyssa, who is Carrie from Homestead House Girls. She has a channel and she's been making my recipes for my book. And it's the sweetest thing and just so kind. And I'm honored that they're doing that. So go check out her channel. It's Emma the Carnivore. I've shared her a few times and I can't tag her for whatever reason. Like when I type in her name, it's not pulling up. But if you do go on my YouTube channel on the community tab, then you'll see a couple of the videos that I've reshared. So they're just so cute and sweet. And I just want to also support them back by sharing about their channel. So go check them out. And I think that's it for today. I guess that's all. Okay, bye. Love you.